thính giả của Đài Vae Live. Hôm nay chương trình Real Estate Talk Show cùng đến và đồng hành với Mai Ca là cô Cassandra. Good morning, Cassandra.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we are very excited to have you in our studio today, and you have been in the real estate business for over 30 years. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, please?
Absolutely. I have been in the real estate industry over 30 years, actually. I started when I was very young. Didn't even have an interest in real estate. In fact, I was having lunch with some friends, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and she said, after I got ready to leave, she said, "Honey, have you ever thought about going into real estate?" And I said, "Well, not really. I don't know much about that." And she said, "Well, here's my card. I want you to take a look at it." So I got started really young. I started with Abby Holiday, and she was actually alive during that time. And she'd come by, and she knew us all by name. I think the interesting thing about back then, interest rates were 16%.
Yes.
And that year, I remember they shot up to 18, and then they came back down.
Yes.
But I started in double-digit interest rates. And so real estate, I found in my background to be cyclical because it's connected to the economy. And so after working with Abby Holiday, I realized how much money it took to sell real estate, because real estate is a business, and a lot of young people, I teach a lot of people, I'm a real estate instructor, and they think when you get in this industry that money just flows from heaven, but it is a process, it is a business, and we have to make sure that we can give ultimate and the highest service possible to our clients, because the more knowledgeable we are, the more informed they are. And so I feel very strongly about education and about knowledge. I think that's what makes this industry what it is. And so after I worked with Abby for a short period, I started selling new homes. And so I was top producer with one of the national home builders. From selling new homes, we started that big recession. You know, the economy grows, and then it flatlines, and then it starts a decline.
Yes.
And so we started that decline back in late 80s. We call that the death of the savings and loans. If you remember, banks started to close. And at that point, the U.S. government became the largest holder of real estate, called the RTC. At that point, I started working with a colleague, and I switched over to commercial real estate, to where I was selling apartment complexes, Class C apartment complexes. And we know that takes a whole different set of knowledge, because you've got to be able to do projections, you've got to be able to talk cap rates, because you're dealing with investors, and investors want a return.
Right.
After that, I came back into residential real estate sometime later, after the dust settled. I was a top producer at Coldwell Banker, considered a sterling producer, multi-millions in production. And then I've been a broker the majority of the time. When I got licensed, you only had to sell real estate 2 years. And then you could become a broker. So I became a broker. I've had agents, and then I haven't had agents. I'm in the process of having agents again, and I've started recruiting people because I'm redefining the amount of time that I'm in the classroom. I went back to college in my late 50s, and because I believed in education, I needed to get my MBA. So I went back to college, Texas A&M Commerce, and I finished up in Beijing, China, And during that time, I was still teaching real estate courses, and now I teach not only courses but designations. I do seminars, and I try to help people understand the importance of having real estate in their portfolio. So that's my background.
Wow, that's a lot more than most real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent myself. Certainly in your 30 years, you have been in the residential, in the commercial, in the apartment, and then you're teaching, so you are the expert to go to.
Thank you.
What's an amazing opportunity to have you in the studio today. Now today, can you go ahead and tell us what you want to bring it to our audience? What subject are we going to talk today?
We're going to be talking about home ownership and what that means. A lot of people think it just means a nice kitchen and living room, but it means more than that. And one of the things that I want to employ to you is the importance of working with a professional that not only understands your needs, but that knows the area. So we're going to be talking about competence on every level. The person that's representing you is a fiduciary, and therefore they are to put your needs above their own. So we're going to be talking about home ownership because we live in one of the best states in the United States.
Yes.
Okay, we live in the United States of Texas, is what I call it. This is a place where we have more jobs than we have people. We have people that have come in here over the last 5 years in the tune of over 500,000 a year. What does that mean to you? It means that real estate is more than just a place for you to live, but it's a place that is an investment for you. Okay? We used to, when I started in real estate, the average price home in Dallas, the DFW area, was $120,000. It is now over $280,000 in the DFW area. If I was to go to Collin County, my average price home is now over $350,000. If I went up to Denton County, it would be over $300,000. If I went to Austin, Texas, that's what we call the Beverly Hills of the South, their average price is easing up to that $400,000 mark. We've seen luxury homes continue to grow in price, and now they're starting to flatten in some of our areas. But the reason why I am so passionate about home ownership is we have so many people that are renting and they don't have to. We've got programs that are available that people don't know about, and I would like to discuss some of those programs.
Awesome. You know, in Vietnamese, we have a saying that when you buy gold, you're losing the money, but when you buy real estate, you're actually gaining. Câu Việt Nam của chúng ta là mua vàng thì lỗ và mua thổ thì lời. Thưa quý khán giả, đó là một cái câu mà Mai Cả học. So yes, Texas particularly is the hub of investment, of the future investment.
Yes.
I live here for 30-something years, and I see real estate have gone up and people moving in.
Yes.
It is an opportunity for people to become homeowners as well as to become an investor.
Yes.
So if people are smart enough, they can get into something that can invest the money for them to live in and to invest for their children, on and on.
That's absolutely true, and to your point, for the longest time in Texas, our average appreciation has been in the single digits.
Yes.
In most areas now, it's in the double digits. I remember one of my very first homes, little quaint place in Mesquite, and right there off of Highway 80, I paid less than 70,000 for it.
Yes.
I kept it for a little over 8 years, and it was sold for almost $175,000.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so when we look at that, I used to work with the guy that he purchased older homes,
Yes.
renovated them,
Yes.
and he would rent them out, hold on to them for a minimum of 10 years. And when I started selling those properties,
Yeah.
they had a minimum of 70 to 100,000 worth of equity. Now, do properties always go up in value? Well, the answer is no. But what happens is, since the real estate is cyclical, we always tell people to hold on because it will be back. Why? Because property is real property. Okay, so we have the land, and then we have the improvement. And so what have we seen in parts of our area is land values continuing to increase. And I think when you see the cost of land, a lot of people complain about our property taxes going up. Well, it's just part of the growth. And it's part of the growth in the values is what it is.
Yeah. And as many as people moving in monthly, weekly to the Dallas area, so the more the supply, the more the demand. So,
That's right.
So that just...
Oh, well, you bring up a good point.
Yes.
You bring up a good point about the amount of people coming in. And so a lot of you probably recognize last year and the year before that, we had a strong seller's market. It was so strong, you put something on the market, it was gone in a minute. People were paying you over the value
Yes.
that you had put
Bidding
on,
some.
whatever the sales price,
Yeah.
they were offering 30 and 40,000 more. The reason for that is we had so many people coming in from California. And so we see that changing now, Mike. We see it going from a seller's market back to a buyer's market, which is another reason why I'm
So,
here.
yeah, so-
Take advantage of it. Like you said,
Yeah.
we've got more inventory.
Yeah.
Less, when you have more inventory and then the demand, it goes over the demand, then you have buyers that are able
You
to
know,
negotiate.
I have a few transactions going on right now that people, my clients are losing their sales because of the overbidding in some of the transactions I have. So it is still the hot market right now.
Yes.
Because we put in offers and then somebody else
Come in and
come
outbid.
in at the higher. So yes, the
Right.
real estate is really
Yes.
really hot.
But just hold on, because this is changing.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yes.
more and more inventory,
Yes.
and so it's not gonna be the multiple offer situation too much longer.
So not so
So,
much,
so we need
yes.
to tell our sellers, you better enjoy this gravy train while you can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I also wanted to bring out, because some people think that if they are from another country, they cannot take advantage of some of the loans that are out there. Keep in mind, USDA, which is rural property, rural. That means if you went out to Forney, that is you bought it on a USDA loan, that is zero down. You do not have to be a United States citizen. You just have to be a lawfully admitted alien and can prove residency. Okay, that's it. And so I want people to know that there are favorable financing options out there to help you meet your goals. FHA is 3.5% down. Again, there are down payment assistance programs through the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. If you are a first-time home buyer, which pays a grant of 3%, 5%, in some areas 7%, You have Wells Fargo that has joined with a congressional nonprofit out of Washington, and they are perpetuating a serious program called Lift that gives the buyer a grant if they qualify for a home in a certain area, $15,000 that does not have to be paid back. If you are a school teacher, police officer, an EMT, first responder, there's plans out there to help you become a homeowner. The Good Neighbor program still exists. If you're a school teacher, police officer, you can buy a HUD home for half off. So there's plenty of things out there. We just have to be able. You have to be able to work with a realtor that can explain to you, like me, like many others out there that have taken the time to learn about these programs to help promote ownership. I am on an advocating campaign for home ownership. It has been proven over and over again that a person who owns their own home, not only are they more productive at work and they have more confidence, but their children even do better in school.
And it's a pride of owning a home. It's a pride in that, and you keep your property a lot better than renting someone else. So to sum up, there's a lot of programs available. Buying a home is not impossible. Buying a home is not difficult. There are programs, and by contacting a good agent, you will be more knowledgeable about the process of buying the home and the programs that the government offer to different agencies, and different people can get it. And yes.
And many times your house payment could very well be less than what you are paying for rent.
Yes.
And we know that when you're renting, what are you doing? You're fattening the landlord's pocket. And we're going to be having other sessions where we will be talking about how to become an investor.
Yes.
But right now, I really want to encourage any of you that are renting, especially if you are around late 20s, early 30s, it's time to jump off that rental wagon and look into home ownership.
Or get out of your parents' house and buy one. It's time to be responsible.
That's right.
Yes, any young people come to me and ask me, hey, what do you think that I should do for my futures? And I always tell them, say, invest in real estate.
Yes.
Invest. All of the people that come and talk to me and say, how do I make money? Invest in real estate.
Invest.
Invest in real estate.
That is such good advice. I want to say to all of my young people out there, please consider real estate as a career. You may not want to sell residential real estate, but there are so many opportunities, so many careers that are related to real estate. And so give that a consideration when you go to college, and whether you decide to sell real estate or not, you owe it to yourself to learn as much about real estate. It is the foundation for wealth in this country and in any country. It's what starts us to be able to be independently wealthy. Okay, and of course when I say wealthy, that's relative to what your goals and expectations are.
But again, not just want to invest in the real estate. You don't just want to go dive into real estate. You have to have the good sources.
Yes.
For some people, they just like yes, I want to do real estate, but I don't have the background, they don't have the experience. That's why that it's good to consult with a professional real estate agent who knows who has the experience
Yes.
and knows the law
Yes.
and know the trends of the real estate world. So yes, invest in real estate is great, but knowing the people that you're working with is a must.
Totally agree with that. And that's what I was saying earlier. Make sure that you are working with an agent who is not only competent,
Yeah.
but has
Professional.
and is staying abreast of what's going on in their community. I mean, I live in Richardson, and I can tell you the areas of Richardson
And
that
they're
are
very
seeing
beautiful
the
homes.
new construction. Thank you, thank you. So we can see changes all over the Metroplex. I can tell you, I grew up in McKinney, and McKinney was nothing when I lived there. And now look at it.
It's a gold mine.
It's a gold mine. I wish I'd have seen it coming.
You know, we're talking about the real estate in Dallas, Texas, that people moving in, but you know, there's more than just people moving in. It's a safe place to live. It's in Dallas, you know, we don't have as many as Mother Nature disaster as other places, and it's right in the center. You can go anywhere, anywhere that you like. It's in a great location, and the town is very, very nice. It's very high end. It's become high end, and it just it's a safe place to live.
And let me piggyback on that. Of course, again, the word safe in some areas
Safer.
some areas are considered more safer, so to speak, than others. However, anything can happen anywhere. What we're saying is, when we're looking at a neighborhood, there are certain things that we want to be present. Good schools is one. Shopping close by. My commute time. Within a time period, I can get from my house to work within the time that I'm expecting. Those are the things we're talking about. And a community feel that makes us feel safe and secure, as he was saying. And we do have many neighborhoods like that in the DFW area. We never guarantee safety. I always tell people, do your own due diligence on that and be prudent in the things that you do. But I can tell you, I love living where I live. I live in Richardson, a really nice community, and it's a community feel. And I think that's what all of us want when we're purchasing a home to live in and to raise our family in. But yeah.
You know, the more the homeowners, the safer the community is.
Yes.
So if you want to make it safer, just be a homeowner.
Yes.
So that everybody responsible to their
Yes.
real estate, and it becomes.
And he's telling the truth. When you're in a community, most of the people around you are homeowners.
Yes.
Yes, and that will add to that value as well.
Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for all of the information, and I hope that the audience have heard us and have a more information about become a homeowner in the Dallas area or in anywhere for that matter. And Cassandra, can you tell us where are you working now and how do people can contact you?
Sure. I work, I have an office in Dallas. I work for myself. The name of my business is Realty Concepts Texas. My website is www.realtyconceptstexas.com. I can always be reached by email, cassandra@realtyconceptstexas.com. And you're always welcome to give me a call. I'd be more than happy to send you information, give you referrals, whatever it is I can do to help you become more educated about the complexities of a real estate transaction. My phone number is 469-556 1583. I'm also available to do seminars regarding home ownerships where I will bring in other people, like a lender. I will bring in people from the Texas Affordable Housing Group. Maybe someone from HUD will come. So I can set up seminars to where we can put together a panel and you will be able to ask questions.
Well, thank you so much for all of your information, and I hope that you guys learn a little bit about the demand of the real estate, the beautiful of home ownership.
Yes.
And we hope that you come back again and do more program with us. And
I hope so, if I'm invited.
yeah,
I'll
of
come
course
back.
you are. Of course, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time on the Real Estate Talk Show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.